Hi, guys. I am so excited to be here with you all this morning. My name is Rachel Cox, and I am a pretty new coach. I've only been a coach for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. So I have so much to learn from you, seasoned coaches, and I'm just really, really honored to be able to be here today to share with you guys about social media and developing your social media strategy. Before we dig in, a couple things about me. Like I said, my name is Rachel. My husband and I have been married for 3 years. His name is Ben. We live in Mississippi, and we don't have any kids yet, but we have a little sweet cockapoo puppy. Her name is Piper, and she is like our child right now. We just relocated to the Clinton area, which is outside of Jackson, Mississippi, and we have bought our first house and are renovating it all on our own. So we really enjoy projects like that on the weekends and in our free time. As far as what I do for a living, I am a freelance graphic designer. I am completely self-taught. I just really, really love design, and I get to work with different brands, startup companies, boutiques, authors, and nonprofits on their websites, logos, all those wonderful things. I just absolutely love what I get to do. But because that is a little bit isolating, working from home, and I am a total extrovert, I have a part-time job a couple days a week working at a local bakery, which is really fun. And then I also teach barre fitness classes here at a local studio. So I stay really busy. I love always having something to do. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. Like I said, I've been a coach for just a little while, but I'm really, really grateful to Caroline for this opportunity to share with you guys about social media. So we're going to be talking about social media and developing a social media strategy, why that's important, what it is, and all the ins and outs of that. So a little bit of premise on why I'm sharing with you guys about this topic. I have been a blogger for the greater part of 5 years, so I really, really have understood or have come to understand the importance of social media when it comes to engagement, helping your business grow, finding your ideal customer or client or consumer. And social media is so, so key in all of that. And so I really understand a lot of the ins and outs of it and want to share that with you guys today. Now, that being said, my Instagram account is not going to be one of those that you go to and be like, oh, shoot, that girl has 20,000 followers. It's not like that. And I really believe it's because I've done all the wrong things for several years and now know what to do right. And that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. So I have 6 different points. Seems like a lot, but just bear with me. I'll try not to be too long-winded. But number 1, content is king. This is so important. That's why it's number 1. But it really is true. In the blogging world, you will hear this over and over again. Content is what matters. You have to have good content. And of course, that makes sense. Why would people be coming to look at your social media? Why are they going to click follow? Why are they going to click like if you don't have good, engaging content? So, number 1, content is king. And side note, the main platform that we are going to be talking about today is Instagram. Nothing against Facebook, nothing against Twitter, but Instagram is my jam. It's my favorite platform, and it's where I personally am seeing the most engagement in both my coaching business and my design business. It's where the majority of my clients for my design business come from. And so Instagram is what we're talking about today. Number 1, content is king. So a couple things when we talk about content. Number 1 under that is put thought into your post. It's really easy with the world the way that it is, as social as we are, to just be like snap, 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 quick little witty caption post, and there's no thought being put into it. But when it comes to our businesses, part of the business world is strategy, being strategic, reaching for that target audience. So that requires us to put a little bit of thought. Who is our ideal customer? What are they going to want to see? How are they going to react when I post this? What emotions are going to be evoked when I say this? So putting time and thought into our post is really important. And we'll dig a little bit deeper into what that ambiguous statement means in a little bit. Number 2, when it comes to content, finding your voice is so, so key. A quote that I love says, it is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation. Whoa, that is so, so true. It is really easy nowadays to look to your left, to your right, to this successful person over here, to this successful coach over here, and want to do what they're doing because you see their success and that's what you want. That's what all of us are chasing after in this coaching world. We want to see success. That's why we're putting in this time and effort. But this quote is so true. It's better to fail at being yourself than to succeed and be an imitation of something else. A photocopy is never as amazing as the original thing. So it is really, really important to try to be unique to you, to be unique to who you are. And a couple things when we're thinking about how do I find my voice? What in the world does that mean? My rules of thumb are talk like you're talking to a friend. And I try really hard to capture this in my Instagram posts. Sometimes I'm going to say song lyrics in my post because you can ask my husband. I do that all the time. I'll be like, you the best. These are my confessions. Like, I love music. And so I'm going to share that. Talk like you're talking to your best friend. Talk like you're talking to your husband, where all these walls are down and you're just you. That's what you want to do. That's where that voice is going to come from, where people are attracted to who you are. Number 2, on that same note, don't be discouraged when you lose followers. I lose followers every single day. It happens. And I gain followers a lot of days, maybe not every single one, but I lose followers a lot of days. Don't let losing followers prohibit you from being true to your voice. That is so, so important. The more consistent you are with who you are and that unique voice to you, the more those ideal customers are going to be coming, and you're weeding out the people that may not be that awesome challenger for you or that awesome coach under you. And that's okay. Don't let that get you down. Another thing, try new things. Test it out. See how things go. If you're not really a person that takes selfies a lot, try a selfie. See how your audience reacts to that. If they love it, maybe that's something you should start implementing. I know for me personally, anytime I get my husband in on pictures with me, whether it's, hey, we just completed this 22-minute hardcore video and we're dying, people love seeing him in it, or a video of us working out together. For whatever reason, my audience really engages with those posts. And I've even had sales result from those posts. So try different things, sort of test out the water, see what works, what doesn't, take that knowledge, and then develop your voice accordingly. And the last thing is, don't overthink it. There's no one else that's more you than you. So don't try to overanalyze. Is this the right thing to say? Is this the right thing to say? Just be you. So that's the number one thing. Content matters. Find that time to put into your post and develop your own voice. So number 1, content is king. Number 2, consistency is queen. Maybe that's cheesy, but it's true. Content is king and consistency is queen. They are a dynamic duo that do not need to be separated. Together, they are so powerful, and alone, they are not nearly as impactful as together. So what do I mean when I'm talking about consistency? I'm talking about timing and also a consistent look across your Instagram feed. So, of course, it's very important to be consistent with the time that you post. If you set a goal to post once a day, twice a day, whatever it is, try to meet that goal every single day. For me, I try to post once between the hours of 7 and 8, sometimes at lunch, maybe, and then once at night in the evenings. Those are the most times that I see the engagement, in the mornings and the afternoons. And so I try to do that every single day. By being consistent with the time that you post, you are creating trust with your ideal audience. And that's really important. You want to be trustworthy. You don't want to be flaky. So be consistent in the time. More importantly, consistency with the look of your Instagram. Maybe that sounds superficial, but it is very true. We live in a visual world. People are driven by images, and that is what can make or break someone sticking around on your account. Are they aesthetically drawn into what you're sharing? And research shows that if there's more consistency, not every single picture is different and chaotic, people are going to stick around more and engage with your post. So how do you do that? How do you make your look consistent? across every single picture that you're putting up. And this is something I really, really struggle with, and goes back to what I said before. I feel like I've done more things the wrong way in this area than the right way, and I'm really trying to implement these things I'm about to share with you in my own business right now. That's where my focus is. So the first thing is color. Maybe you want to pick a specific color palette that you're going to stick to, and you're not going to veer from that path. For me, my personal account, which also doubles as my graphic design account, is a very, very neutral palette, or at least that's what I'm starting to go for now. So you're not going to see hot pink and bright orange and really deep reds. You're going to see cool grays and whites and maybe a few things of exposed wood, that kind of stuff. But then for my fitness account, it's not so much a color palette as it is bright and airy, light exposed pictures. That's what I'm going for across the board. So find the color that you want, stick to it accordingly. Fonts, that's a really cool thing nowadays, to put fonts over your images with quotes and motivational tips, things like that. My biggest suggestion with this, while I think it's super awesome, from a graphic design aspect of knowing what appeals to people, and from this consistency aspect, pick 2, maybe 3 fonts, never veer from those. Stick with those. So even if you're using WordSwag or Typic, is that what I think it's Typic? Whatever those apps are where it generates the text for you. Even if you're using those, you can pick the same selections every single time so that you have a consistent look across your entire brand. And then if you have a certain font that's used in your logo on your website and you're able to use that on your pictures, that's an even better way to go, because it creates this brand recognition. People are going to see that font and be like, oh, that's Rachel from Whole and Free. She always uses that font. That's really cool. Like, they just begin to recognize you, which is what you want. The other thing, editing images. If you're into that, try to always edit them the same way. I have a certain pattern. I start with the brightness, then I sharpen it, then I adjust the exposure. So I just do those same things every time. That way my images turn out a lot more similarly. And then the last thing, stick to themes. This is my biggest thing that I'm focusing on right now. I have selected several different themes, and I try to filter every single post through one of these themes, not emphasizing one over the other in any given week. So what I'm saying is I have picked the themes of I show workout videos, or just in general workouts, food, pictures of food or recipes, my family, pictures of my husband or my dog or things like that. What else? I'm trying to think. Fitness, and then faith as well. So I'm sharing a scripture verse or encouraging them in a certain way that the Lord's teaching me, and everything tries to filter through those themes. So whatever that is for you, try to pick 4 or 5 different themes for your account and never veer from those. I am not going to be sharing my home renovation, or at least not very consistently, on my Whole and Free fitness account, because that's not who I'm trying to reach. I'm not trying to reach renovation junkies. I'm trying to reach women that are struggling with fitness and freedom. And so I'm going to filter that through. And so coming up with these themes really just creates a consistency across your entire feed. It makes sure that the look is the same, the content is the same, all of those things. So 1, content is king. 2, consistency is queen. And I promise I'm going to talk faster now and go quicker. I promise. Number 3, post content that is relevant to your audience. We've kind of just talked about that with themes, but it's important to do this. Like I said, it's really easy for me to get super excited about some kind of home renovation project that we just did, and I want to share it with all of the world. But the beautiful thing is there's other social media outlets that really lend themselves to this off-the-cuff kind of whatever sharing. Snapchat has become that for me. So if it's, a home renovation, or it's just my dog is doing the cutest stuff and I want to share it with the world, I take that to Snapchat instead of Instagram, because Instagram is where I'm trying to engage and create these lasting relationships that potentially turn into challengers and coaches. And Snapchat is just where I'm, hey, this is me. I'm kind of crazy. I'm obsessed with my dog, and here's my house. Blech. So try to think of it that way. Post the content that's most relevant to your audience on Instagram or Facebook, and then take all the other stuff that shows you as you, which is still really fun to your followers. Take that to Snapchat, take that to Twitter. Number 4, use hashtags and make friends. Social media. You need to be making friends. You need to be engaging with people on Instagram. This is where I've been putting a lot of my time and where I'm really seeing a lot of this fruit come from my labor. So I'm using relevant hashtags to my brand, and I would encourage you to just grab a handful of those hashtags and use them over and over and over again. And then I explore those hashtags. I get on them, maybe 10 minutes a day and look through those hashtags, find girls that I'm like, yep, she looks just like me. And then I scroll through her feed. I may like some of her pictures, comment on a couple, and I can guarantee you almost 9 times out of 10, they end up following me. And then I'm able to be like, hey, thanks so much for following me. I saw your account and that you just got married. Congratulations. I would love to help you if you have ever any questions about health and fitness, or I'll try to ask some question about so how's married life, that kind of thing. Just get the conversation going. But I explore the hashtags and then I use that explore tab to also further generate this engagement with people that may not necessarily find me on their own. So do that. Be social. Take 5 minutes a day to just click on the Explore tab and 15 pictures that look like someone that may be your ideal challenger or an awesome coach on your team. It may amount to nothing. It may amount to one person that chooses to be in your challenge group. So don't forfeit that. Don't downplay it. It's important. It's part of that strategic part of this Instagram plan. The next thing, number 5, is have a thing. What in the world does that mean? Have a thing. Come up with something that is unique to you, whether it's some kind of Instagram series or a hashtag that you're always going to use for something, and share it. This is a way for your followers to feel connected to you. So an example of this, I'm not sure if any of you guys follow her, but her name is Stephanie Holden, and her Instagram account is @honeyholden. And she's a good friend of mine. She lives here in Mississippi, and she's just an amazing woman of the faith and just a really, really inspiring person to follow if you don't already. But she has all of these little quirky hashtags that she uses to document different things that she does. For example, she has a coffee table in her house that has been painted with chalkboard paint. And anytime they have guests come over, one of the guests or multiple of the guests will draw a picture or write a message or share a scripture on that coffee table that, depicts their feelings or emotions during the time that they stayed with the Holdens. And then Stephanie will Instagram it, and she has a hashtag that goes along with that. She also has a brick wall in her garage that every single brick has been colored with a different color of chalk, and she calls it Honey's multicolored wall or brick of many colors or something like that. So she has all these quirky little hashtags where you can follow different little snippets of her life, and it's just really fun. I know that I have personally gone and spent time looking through all those hashtags because I just think it's really, really neat. So for me, myself, I have a hashtag that says Rachel's Morning Coffee. And you can look for the past 3 years, and it's just going to be a whole bunch of coffee cups and, half-drunk coffee mugs of stuff. But I've been doing that for several years of just, hey, I'm obsessed with coffee, and here's my morning coffee. I also have just recently started one, Rachel's Daily Headband. I love these headbands. I wear them every day that I work out, and it's an opportunity for me to just be fun and whimsical with my followers while also getting some of my favorite brands into their hands and introducing them to some of my favorite companies. So whatever it is, come up with what works for you, what gets you excited, and have a thing that is specific to you that makes people remember you. Oh man, that's fun. Like the stuff with Stephanie that I keep thinking of because I just think it's absolutely adorable. Come up with a thing. And then the last thing is make it easy to get to your blog or to your website. Make sure that those people that want more information about how to get in touch with you, how to follow up with you, how to carry on the conversation further, make sure that they do not have to look. You want to utilize that link tab in your profile and make sure that it's not taking them to some Pinterest recipe or something, that it is taking them to whatever page you have that allows them to see the most information about you. So for me, that's my Whole and Free website. There are some bloggers out there that I've seen that do a landing page of sorts that says, hey, welcome to Whole and Free. I'm Rachel. Here's my most recent post. If you're new here, start here. If you want to reach out, use this contact form. And I personally have not done that on my website. Maybe one day I will. I don't know, but just make sure that your followers don't have trouble finding you. That is super, super important. So finally made it to number 6. But when it comes to social media strategy, that's the most important part. I know in this world of fitness and being a believer, it's really hard sometimes to internally struggle with, but I want to be authentic, but I want to make sure that I am being true to who I am and that I'm not, doing all these staged pictures or whatever that internal struggle is. And I've been there. I've struggled with that. But what I can tell you is that we are all businesswomen on a journey, and you have been called to be a coach for a very specific reason. So whatever that why is, that is what needs to be in your mind as you develop this social media strategy. Even in scripture, we are called to be shrewd. We are called to be committed. We are called to be diligent. And so being strategic is not being sneaky. It's not being icky. It's being smart. You have been called to manage a business. You have been called to be a coach. And being strategic with your social media can allow you to extend your reach, can allow you to help more women, can allow your business to grow, which helps you achieve that why and achieve your own goals and help more people. So this is super important, not because it's self-serving. While it is, in some ways, it is self-serving, but it's not only self-serving. If you follow this plan of developing, putting all your thought into this social media strategy, not only is it going to grow your business, but again, it's going to extend your reach, which is the goal. We're out to help women. We're out to give people an alternative to this, let's get this bikini body magazine look. We're out to offer a different message. That's what Team Equip is all about. And so think of it that way. Rather than I need to do this to get X amount of followers, I need to do this to extend my reach and get my message out there to as many people as I can. So I'm going to run back through the 6 things real quick and then I will be done. So number 1, content is king. Remembering that is so, so important. This is where the foundation is. Content is king. Putting time into your content and developing that very unique voice that only you have. Number 2, consistency is queen. Consistency in the time that you post, consistency in the look of your post, from the colors to the fonts, to the themes, to the way that you edit. All of those things, consistency matters. Number 3, post relevant information to your audience. Make sure that it is not off the wall. You're not blowing up their feed about something that your ideal customer, your ideal challenger, your ideal coach doesn't care about. Filter all of that, send it on to Snapchat. Number 4, use hashtags and make friends. Utilize the social aspect of social media and make a goal every single week to have spent X amount of time doing that, exploring, commenting, answering comments, engaging on direct message, whatever that is. Be social and make friends. Number 5, have a thing. Whether it's an Instagram series or a hashtag that's unique to you, make sure that you develop something that is fun, that is interesting, and engages your customers, followers, whatever you want to call them, engages them and makes them stick around, makes them feel like they know you more. Come up with that thing. And number 6, make it easy to get to your blog or to your website. Don't make them search for you. Make sure that they know how to get in touch with you very, very simply. Okay, guys, I hope that this is helpful for you. Like I said, this strategy is what I am currently focused on, laser focused in on. So I'm just sharing with you from experience. And I will say, since implementing this about a month ago, my Whole and Free fitness account has gone from 750 followers to over 1,000. 1 month. And that's not, hello, I'm not 20,000, but it's working. It is working. And I can guarantee you, again, when you are consistent, just like the vital behaviors with coaching, when you are consistent and diligent and committed, you will see results. And that is the same that applies to this strategy. So I hope that this is helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, things that you want to bounce around with me, brainstorm with me. I would love to be a sounding board for any of you women. I would love to carry this conversation further with any of you individually if you have thoughts, comments, questions, or more things that you could offer me in developing my own social media strategy and contributing to all of us as the group. So I hope you guys have an awesome Monday, that this was beneficial and helpful for you, and that your week is just fantastic. Thanks so much.